fast forward about 10 minutes, and that's when class will start. If you're joining us and it's still within the hour between 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock Central Time, then forward all the way to where it's live and go ahead and do that whole piece. And then come back and repeat from the beginning, because it's really fun for us all to be doing stretching together at the same time. And then you can also send me notes in the chat. But if you write something in the comments after the fact, I will not get it during class. So if you want to add a comment in during class, you have to be live with me, okay? All right, my friends, I will see you very soon in about 10 minutes. Hello, friends. It's me, Carrie. I'm here to stretch today. I'm wearing my super fuzzy sweatshirt that my mom bought me for Christmas. It's not very flattering, but it's like wearing a cat, which is kind of fantastic. And I feel like Cookie Monster. But it's a little chilly in here today, so I'm sure it'll come off pretty soon once we get to stretching. But isn't it awesome? It's like the fuzziest sweatshirt. All right, come here, Suri. Yeah, she's ready to go too. Suri has been so active during class. Poor Skitty is a little sick, so let's all, say a prayer for Skitty if that's what you do. Skitty is my older cat, and she has some kidney problems, and she seems to have taken a bad turn the past couple of days, so I'm kind of devastated and, trying to take care of her as best as I can, but if for some reason I need to pause the video and take care of her for a second, I will, because she seems to be a little upset stomachy, poor thing. So we'll see how she does, okay? And we'll see how I do. I am emotional about it, so I'm just going to kind of take it easy today with our stretching, wear my fuzzy sweatshirt, and, do some stretching work. Any of you guys who are on live, go ahead and write in the chat what you might want to work on today. If you are one of my regular clients, be sure to say hi because I'd love to hear from you guys. And, just check in and connect. But, or any of you guys who are watching from afar, let me know who you are and where you're from. And also, if you guys have anything specific that you want to work on, feel free at any time to write it in the chat. Now, I said before in the intro to this video, that if you are watching this played back, like if you pause it and you don't go back to where we're live again, then I won't get your comments. They actually will go to my email, right? It has to be live for me to get them in the comments here. So make sure that you are always at the live point. Even if you miss some stretches, that's okay. All right, friends, I think we're just going to start from the beginning. There's a flow that I really like that comes from the good old days, the very, very old days of resistance stretching when we were learning from Bob Cooley. Bob has a channel called The Genius of Flexibility. You guys should try it out. It's really fantastic. But he also wrote this book. I probably have it up there. It's called The Genius of Flexibility. You guys can check that out as well. And in that book, he maps out a very specific flow. And so I think we'll just do that flow today because it feels good and I really like it. So we'll start there and then we'll see what happens. If you guys have any other suggestions or comments, feel free to put that in the chat at any time. All right, friends? All right, let's get going. We're going to start off with the stretch for the outside of your hips. So start with your right leg. Bring your right leg on top of your left knee. Reach through and grab your left knee with both sides. Push out for strength with your right leg and then pull in with your arms. You should feel this in your glutes on the right side. And we'll just go back and forth. Because we're doing this flow today, we're not going to do any problem solving unless you really need it. So we'll do about 10 repetitions of each stretch. And then switch sides on your own. If you finish your stretches before I do, just go ahead and relax, about 10 on each side, and then just wait until the next stretch happens. Or if you feel like you want to do more stretches, then just, pause or wait until, keep stretching until you feel like doing the next one. Just listen to your body and make sure that you know exactly what your body wants. Hey, sorry. That's some good kisses. You're so cute. All right. Forward and back, strength and stretch. And you just go back and forth. You should feel the right side right here. If this hurts or if you don't feel it, or if you feel something different, just go ahead and skip this stretch and we can revisit it on another day. It doesn't have to be today. It could just be that today's not the day for the stretch for you, right? So just do what feels good, okay? And now let's go ahead and switch. So you bring your left leg over top and with your right, grab your right leg with both hands. Push with your left leg away from your body to engage your glutes and then pull in with your arms. And just go back and forth. Out for strength and in for stretch. So out for strength and in for stretch, and we're aiming for about 10, but you listen to your body and do what your body feels like. So if you don't feel like counting, that's okay. Just stop when your body wants to stop. Just do what feels good to you. Listen to what your body tells you. It might tell you to go a little bit in this direction or a little bit in this direction, and you can just kind of play around with it. Let's see what feels good. Take it nice and gentle today. It feels like a good day to be gentle. Out for strength and in for stretch. Out for strength and in for stretch. And again, we're aiming for about 6 to 10. You just do what feels good for your body today. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and stretch out our inner thighs now. We're going to do this splits in the air. So you bring your legs up so that they are perpendicular to the floor. It's okay if you can't straighten your legs out all the way, totally fine to bend your knees, but you want your femur bones here, that's these like your thighs, to be pretty perpendicular to the floor. So they'll just be kind of sticking straight up. So either straight up or here. What we don't want is for you to have your legs like way back here or like, I don't know. That's usually the only problem that I see is people who go like past 90 degrees because they feel like they can. So go ahead and let your legs just be straight up. Then grab your knees on the inside and you're going to squeeze your legs together like you're trying to pull your knees in. And pretend like there's like a spring between your knees and you're going to pry that spring apart with your arms. So what ends up happening is you go into a wide leg split. Now I'll show you this from the other angle too, but I always show you from that angle, so I thought it was kind of interesting to see it from here. So, on your back, you'll squeeze your legs in and your arms are going to pry your legs open. And you should feel your inner thighs stretch. Squeeze in for strength and open for stretch. In for strength and open for stretch. You should feel this on the inner thighs right here. And just take it nice and easy. It's normal for the stretch to be a little shaky. Don't worry about that. Make sure you're resisting. But let's make today an easy day. Just do what feels good to you. When you feel like you're bored with this stretch, you can stop doing it. Or if you feel like you want to do a lot of them, go for it. But again, aiming for about 6 to 10, somewhere in that range. Close for strength and open for stretch. All right. Good job, friends. It's time for me to quick change from Cookie Monster to Carrie Stretch Chi Instructor. Ta-da-da-da, because it got warm in here. That stretch did it. That was exactly what I needed. So now we're going to go into a stretch for the front of your chest. This is like a push-up. So we're going to go into a plank position. Make your arms wide, and then very slowly drop your body down to the floor, and then push up for strength. You can do this on the wall as well if that feels better to you. You should feel this across the front of your shoulders and your biceps. We're aiming for 10. I've done 3. I don't know if I'm going to get to 10 today. Maybe I'll take a break after 5. That seems like a good idea. So reverse push-ups are not easy. So that was 5. Not bad, right? A little breather, and then we're going to go back and do the last 5. So come back up to your plank. Drop your hips, and very slowly down to the floor, and up. Down for your stretch, up for strength. 3, 2 more, 4, and 1 more, 5. Good. All right, friends. Let's go to the back of our shoulders now. So you're going to bring your right arm up and grab the outside of your elbow with your left hand and resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. You'll push open for strength to the right and pull across for your stretch. You should feel this in the back of your right shoulder. You can take this nice and easy, open and closed. You can sit a different way if you want to. You could even sit in a chair to do this, or you could stand up. Do whatever feels good to you. I'll just go back and forth. Open for strength and close for your stretch. And again, we're aiming for about 10 on each side, but you do what feels good to you. And then we'll switch sides after you're ready. You can switch on your own time if you feel like it, or you can wait for me, whatever feels good. All right, this one feels like my last one. So now let's switch sides. So you'll bring your other arm up. This is my left arm. It'll be your left hand, it's actually my right hand, but we're mirroring. And then you're gonna pull your arms apart. Push open to the left for strength, then pull across for your stretch. Open for strength, and pull for your stretch. And just go back and forth. Open for strength, close for stretch, and just do as many as feels good to your body today. It may be 10, it might be 4, it doesn't matter. Just do what feels good to you. Hi. I got your belly. You got it. You did. She has no shame on the camera, that's for sure. No shame. Okay, and now it's time to stretch out our quads. Sir, you're a little in the way. I'm gonna have to lay down beside you. This is over there. Okay, so lay on your back. Bring your right leg up and take your left leg on top of your right leg. Now interlock your fingers behind your right thigh. So my left leg, I'm not holding on to it. I'm just holding on to my right leg. And you're gonna resist like you're trying to push both legs apart. So my right leg is pushing towards the ceiling and the left leg pulls down towards your body. So you push up for strength and pull down for stretch. This one is a little more intense muscle-wise. So you just want to do this stretch until you feel a good burn. It does not have to be 10. 10 might feel good for you if you are used to doing this stretch, but if this is your first time doing this one, just go until you really start to feel tired. You'll know. It might be 5 or 6, or maybe 10. We'll see how it feels. But you should feel the front of your quad right here on the right side. Should be the front of your thigh. Up for strength and down for stretch. And you just go back and forth. Up for strength and down for stretch. Okay, that's all I've got on that leg. So now I'm going to bring my left leg up and grab my thigh behind with both hands. I'm going to cross my right leg over top, and I'm going to resist like I'm trying to pull both arms apart. For strength training, push up with your left leg, but fight with your right. And then your right leg will win to pull you down into the stretch. You just go back and forth, up for strength and down for your stretch. Aiming for 10, but just do as many as you want, as many as feels good for your body. You should feel the front of your thigh right here. If you don't feel that, if you feel something different, like if your hamstring cramps, or if you feel like here in the front of your shin or like in your knee, then you can just skip this stretch and revisit it on another day. And then on another day, it might work just fine. Because bodies are weird like that. As we do more of these stretches, you'll open up in different ways. So you can trust that for sure. So up for strength and down for your stretch. You just go back and forth. Up for strength and down for stretch. And I think I have one more in me. Up for strength and down for stretch. Yep, that's the last one. Whew. You know on that one, because it just starts to burn like crazy. There's no hiding from it. Absolutely no hiding from it. So now we're going to stretch out our inside hamstring. This is on the medial part of your leg on the inside. So bring your head up, hold your head up with your left hand, and grab your right heel with your right hand. So my heel's up in the air. I'm going to put my thumb right underneath. My knee opens up to the side about 45 degrees. And then you'll kick down for strength and pull up for your stretch. And you just go back and forth, down for strength and up for stretch. Forgive the cats, part of the deal. You should feel your inner thigh, like right through here. It's like an inner hamstring towards the midline of your body. If you don't feel that, just skip the stretch or, stick with it if it feels good. And we'll aim for about 6 to 10. Down for strength and up for stretch. All right, and let's switch to the other side. So hold your head up with your right hand. Take your left hand, point your thumb down. Let your knee open up to the side and grab your heel with your left hand. So it's my left leg and my left hand. Kick down for strength and pull up for your stretch. And you just go back and forth, down for strength and up for stretch. You can switch on your own time. If you want to relax, you can relax. If you feel this stretch and it feels good, you can do more of it, as many as you want. Sometimes it feels good to grab your big toe and just play around with the stretch in the way that it feels good to you. Down for strength and up for stretch. And one more. Down for strength, up for stretch. Good, friends. Awesome. Okay, I hope you guys are all feeling good. Don't forget that if you're watching this live, you can always check in on the chat. Let me know what you're feeling, or let me know if there's something specific you want to work through. And now we're going to go ahead and work on the front of our chest and our calves. This is a downward dog type stretch. So we're going to go onto all fours. Your hands under your shoulders. Come up to straight legs. Push your hands into the mat like you're trying to drive your body back. At the same time, push your feet up like you're trying to throw your body forward. Now your arms will push you back down to your heels, bring your head through, and use your legs to push you back up. We're going to go back and forth about 10 times, or until you feel like you want to stop. If this is hard on your wrists, you can also do this on a chair. Just bring the chair right up in front of you like this. Push your arms down into the chair and bend down. What this does is it takes the fold out of your wrist here. So now your wrists can be straight instead of like in this position where your wrists are bent, okay? So you can do whatever feels good. On the chair, it's like this. Up for strength and down for a stretch. And again, if you're doing this on the floor, you can play around with your feet angles. So you can do pigeon-toed. So just bring your toes in and your heels out. Or you can go the other way with your toes out and your heels in. And see if you can get different parts of your calves as you come down towards the floor. Oh. Okay, friends. That's enough of that one, right? Now let's go ahead into the top of our shoulders, the back of our shoulders here in our rotator cuff. So you're going to bring your hands together, interlock your fingers, and put your thumbs right over your head. Sit in whatever way feels the most comfortable to you, whether you're on your knees or sitting cross-legged or in a chair, doesn't matter. Your hands over your head. Now very slowly, try to squeeze your elbows together. As you do this, you should start to feel a little bit of a stretch in the back of your shoulders. You can feel your shoulder blades open and close. Pretty nice one. Open for strength and close for stretch. We are aiming for about 10 stretches. But you do what feels good to you. Sometimes this gets really tired, especially if it's your first time doing this method. If it is your first time doing this method, you might want to check out some of my playlists. I do have a playlist that's all like step-by-step stretches. Like stretch by stretch, I think is what the playlist is called. So you can actually learn each stretch individually. I really walk you through the process. Also, I have a whole problem solving playlist. So if you notice that there's a certain stretch that's just like your nemesis, you can spend some extra time by doing that problem solving lesson, okay? And then also, for those of you who don't know, I'm running an online course right now. It's a week-by-week course about how to live your best life. So check out that class as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my playlist, click that little button in the corner that looks like an arrow. Or if you're watching on your TV, just figure out how to find the place where you subscribe and do that, because that'll make sure that you get all of my videos. And if you put the little bell icon too, if you click that, then it'll give you notifications for when I put a new video up, so you won't miss any of them, especially live class, because that's pretty exciting. All right, friends, let's move on into our central hamstring. So you're going to lay on your back, bring your right leg up and grab the ball of your foot with both hands, then kick your heel down towards the floor while you pull up for your stretch. Kicking down for strength and pulling up for stretch. You should feel this stretch in the belly of the hamstring, right in the back of your leg. And you just go back and forth, down for strength and up for stretch. And again, aiming for about 10, but just do what feels good to you. If it doesn't feel good, or if you don't feel your hamstring, if you just feel it behind your knees, or if you feel your calves, or, if there's a problem, if you just feel it up by your hip joint, it means that there's an issue, and that means that you just should skip this stretch today. Come back to it on another day after we've done some other things. Down for strength and up for stretch. And we'll just go back and forth. All right, one more. Down for strength and up for stretch. And we'll switch sides. So now bring your left leg up, bring your knee in close to your chest, grab your toes, the ball of your foot. You could even grab your heel with both hands. If you have trouble reaching, you could grab your calf too and just push your leg down towards, push your heel down towards your butt and then pull up by holding your calf. That's okay too. That's a pretty good stretch. Or you could use a strap or a towel, like a yoga strap, put it around your foot and pull up towards your head. That would also give you a nice stretch. So you just kick down for strength and you pull up for your stretch. We're aiming for 10 again on either side, but you just do what feels good to you. And like I said with the other stretch, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. This is one of the big principles of Ki-Hara. And especially for those of you who are brand new to this method, it's really important to understand that if you are not feeling the belly of the muscle stretching here, it's because there's a barrier somewhere else. And the way to get rid of that barrier is not to keep doing this stretch, but to do a different stretch. So that's where the problem solving videos come into play, or learning the stretches step by step so you can figure out exactly what you're supposed to be feeling. That's when that would be very useful. So it's great to do live class. I'm always happy to have you guys here in live class, but make sure that you watch some of those other videos too so that you can learn a little bit more about this method and how it works, okay? All right, the next stretch we're gonna go into is for your hip flexors. This is in the front of your hips, right here. Now, if you find your hip bones, like where your hip bones stick out here, the hip flexor muscle is just inside of that bone. So here's my hip bone here, and I'm looking for the muscle group here. It'll come from up to the top of your pelvis, down about to if you were wearing short shorts, you'll feel it at the hem of your short shorts, okay? That's the hip flexor stretch. So that's where we're aiming for a sensation in this stretch. So if you bring your right leg to the front and your left leg behind, you're gonna wanna engage that muscle by trying to pull your knee forward. Your front leg is gonna answer that by trying to pull your heel towards your body. So my legs are trying to come in towards each other this way. Then use your back leg to pull you forward into this lunge. You should feel this stretch right there in the front of your hip, right where I told you, and then pull back for strength. And you just go back and forth. Front leg pulls you into the stretch, your back leg pulls you back. And again, we're aiming for 10. You can move around in this stretch in any way that feels good to you. you can kind of wiggle through. I'm gonna put a towel down. Yesterday, I went to turn off the video and I landed on the floor and like slid forward, and I have like floor burns on my legs and my knees are bruised. Like I hit the floor hard yesterday. So funny. So you pull back for strength, and then you use your front leg to pull you forward right here. Now to play around with this stretch a little, what you can do is twist open so you can look over your left shoulder. You can kind of wiggle your hips a little bit. You can raise your arms up if it feels good. Just do what your body wants today. Down for strength, pulling in, and you pull forward for your stretch. Lift up with your chest. Let's do one more. Back for strength and forward for stretch. Okay, and now we'll switch sides. So your right leg behind and your left leg in the front, and you're gonna try to squeeze both legs together. So your front leg is gonna pull you back, and your back leg is gonna try to pull you forward. Use your front leg to pull you into your lunge, and your back leg pulls you out of the lunge. And so you just go back and forth just like that. Forward for your stretch. Check where you feel it. Should be in the right hip, right in the front here, on the inside of the hip bone. Maybe from like the top of your hip, your pelvis, like up here, down towards like where the border would be of your short shorts, of your hem, down to about right here, okay? It could be smaller than that, but that's about as big as the stretch gets. If you feel the stretch go all the way down to your knee or even through your thigh, then you've got a problem in it. And this stretch isn't being effective for you. So you can take a break. You can go forward to the next stretch, or just take a rest, go get a drink of water, whatever you need, and then come back and try this one again on a different day after your body's had a chance to remove some of those barriers. And if you want to play around with this stretch, you can twist, you can turn to the right this time, so I'm going to turn away from you guys and open up. That's a pretty lovely way to get a deeper stretch if that feels good to you. You just do what feels good. Oh. Back for strength and forward for your stretch. You can reach your arm up if it feels good. And just do what feels right to your body. It knows exactly what to do. Okay, now we're going to go into two stretches for the front of your shoulders, one for your shoulders, one for the back. These are both done in a sort of like a child's pose position. What you're going to do is bring your arms really wide and up. So my arms are in the shape of a Y, like if I was doing the YMCA dance, you'd bring your arms up into a Y like this, but on the floor. Now from here, you're going to use your arms, specifically your first three fingers, 1, 2, and 3, to try to pull you forward. If you let that force happen, your arms will pull you up. Your legs are helping a little. When you feel your weight want to shift onto your hands, then you lean back, tuck your chin, and that'll stretch out the front of your shoulders. Then you pull yourself back up. This is strength training. When you feel like you're going to shift your weight to your hands, you just sit right back down. Pull your head through for your stretch. You should feel this in your armpits, kind of in the front of your shoulders. And you just go back and forth. Pull through for your stretch and up for strength. Again, we're aiming for 10. If this doesn't feel good on your knees, you can double up your mat. You can put some towels under your knees. Or you can also do the stretch in the tabletop version. Like if you've taken my class before, you might know this one. You twist your elbow or twist your shoulders in, and then push with your arms to open you up, to open up your shoulders. So you squeeze in for strength and up for stretch. If you want, you can try both. It's up to you. Or just stick to one, whichever one feels better to you. Just remember to be gentle with yourself today. I feel like that's the energy of me and the energy of the world today. It's just, be a little gentle. It's Friday. This is day 20 of our lockdown here in Chicago. So, you know, almost 3 weeks now of not being around other people, not going to my studio, and, you know, spending time with my cats. So let's take this day a little easier and just see how it goes, right? Now we're going to stretch out the back of our shoulders. So we're going to also do another type of child's pose type stretch. But instead of having your arms wide like this, you're going to bring your elbows in front of you like this with your fingers pointing straight up. So it'll look like two trees, like from your elbows to your fingers. You open up your hands so that they look like trees. Now notice that my elbows aren't out wide like this, so it doesn't look like triangle trees growing towards each other. They look like parallel trees. So I externally rotate my elbows and pull the trees in so that my elbows are parallel and my middle fingers are parallel. Now from here, if this doesn't feel good to you, if this is too close together, then let your arms be wider apart, right? So if your elbows are way out here, then your hands should also be way out there. If your hands are here, see if you can find a place that feels good to you, okay? Now we're gonna translate that from the air down to the mat. So go ahead and find your mat again. Make those trees. Your forehead, or like your nose, should be right over your wrists, like right here. And then what you're gonna do is pull with your arms to bring you forward until your head is just about at the tips of your fingers and your feet will start to pop up. And then you just keep pulling with your arms like you're trying to pull yourself forward, but you let your lower body pull you back. As you pull back, tuck your chin and you're gonna stretch through the back of your neck and your shoulders. Pull forward for strength and back for stretch. If this is no good for your knees, hold tight. I'll show you a different version in a second. So forward for strength and pull back for your stretch. And you just go back and forth. All right, if you need a different version, you can sit however you feel comfortable or stand. Bring your right arm across your body and grab your wrist with your left hand and try to pull both arms diagonally apart. You'll push up for strength and pull down for your stretch. When you get to the bottom, bring your head over to the left so that you can get a stretch on the right side of your neck. Up for strength and down for stretch. And your head to the side. Up for strength and down for stretch. And just tilt your head over to the opposite side. A little wiggle in your head too will give you a little bit more of a deeper stretch, or it'll help you to see where the stretch is the most intense. Then we can switch sides. So bring your left arm across and grab your wrist with your right hand. Resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. Push up towards the ceiling. And then down towards the right side. And this time bring your head to the right. And you can just nod your head a little bit and see if you can find that deep stretch. And then come right back up for strength and down for stretch. Your head to the side. Up for strength and down for stretch. Oh, nice. This is a nice one. Up for strength, then down for stretch, and then find this next stretch at the end. Very nice. Now, if you guys are feeling like you want to do that stretch some more, if you didn't get enough, but you know, like because you're watching the other stretch, then go ahead and pause this video and just keep stretching, doing those stretches, and then join us for the lateral hamstring stretch, which goes like this. Let's do this one against the wall. I've been liking this lately. Find the wall that you can just sit against and just sit there like you're relaxing. I'm putting my upper back against the wall, but my tailbone here I'm pretty full out. I'm about, I'd say, a full hand width away from the wall. And that makes it so that I can like sit on my sit bones pretty easily. I feel pretty comfortable and solid here. And also pretty comfortable, right? This feels good to me. Now I'm gonna bring my right leg up and I'm gonna reach my left leg. Actually, I'll mirror this because you guys can see me in that way. So we'll make this your left leg. And then take your right hand and reach over your shin. See how I'm like reaching over my shin and I'm going to grab the outside of my foot. If you can't get your leg up this high or you can't reach from here, then grab a towel or a strap, a belt, and wrap it around your foot so that you can still grab it with your opposite hand, but it can be a little further away from your body. From here, you're going to internally rotate. So that means you're going to turn your knee to the left. You're going to turn your knee to the right and your foot's going to come out to the left. All this rotation happens in your hip joint. Then what you'll do is kick your heel down towards your glutes, but when you kick down, you want to kick down towards the left. And when you pull up, you're going to pull up towards the right. So it's like you want your hand to hit this part of the wall right up here. So you kick down for strength and you pull up for your stretch. You could also do this laying on your back in the same exact way if you feel like you like that better, or if it doesn't feel good for you to sit this way. And then if you were not using a towel, it would just look like this. So you kick down for strength and you pull up for stretch. You should feel this in the outer part of your hamstring right here. If you don't feel that, then just skip this stretch, do it on a different day. Or you can check out some of my problem-solving videos. There's one called the sciatic pain solution. That is if you have sciatica, if you have sciatic pain, it specifically targets this muscle group and some other stretches that go with it. So find that stretch in the problem-solving videos. I put flame emojis in it, like hot fire, because that's what sciatica feels like. So you can find it pretty easily. It just says like the sciatic pain solution. And if, when I go back to this video later, I'll try to put a card up. So that's those little things that come across the top. I'll try to put that in if I remember to make sure that you can just go to that video if that's what you're having issues with. Now we're going to go to the other leg. So bring your right leg up. Take your left hand over your shin and grab the outside of your foot, or wrap your towel around and grab both ends of the towel with your left hand. Kick your heel down to the right side of your hip, turn your knee into the left, and then pull up to the left. So kick down for strength and up for stretch. You should feel this in the outer part of your hamstring right here. So kicking down for strength and up for stretch. And we'll just go back and forth. Down for strength, up for stretch. You could also just grab your foot if that feels good. Down for strength and up for stretch. You just do what your body wants to do. You should feel it right through here. If you don't, it's okay to skip it or check out that problem solving video like I said. I think you'll like it. Down for strength and up for stretch. One more, and then we're going to do our butterfly stretch. So come to a seated position. Bring your feet together like a butterfly stretch, like you know from gym class in the 80s, right? We all did these stretches. Sometimes people still do this stretch in their gym class. Bring your elbows to your knees. I have my forearms really like right here against where my knees are folding. And I'm going to push against them like I'm trying to sweep my arms out. Your legs are going to push in at the same time like they're trying to come together like this. As you do this, your upper body is going to lean back and come forward, okay? So as I'm down towards my full stretch, I'm leaning forward into the stretch. And as I come into strength, I'm going to lean back so I get my body out of the way so that my legs can close. All right, so let's go ahead into the stretch. Pushing in for strength. And then use your arms to push you open for your stretch. And then when you're ready, just push right back up for strength and down for stretch. You should feel your inner thighs on this one, right here on the inside. So in for strength and open up for your stretch. And you just go up and down. Now again, we're aiming for about 10. We'll see how you do. If you feel anything other than your inner thighs, then you probably just want to stop and wait. If you have any pain especially, just stop and don't do the stretch. But if you feel like, sometimes if you feel it here, if you feel it on the outside of your hips, it could be because you're compensating by resisting too hard. I found this in class, that if people just resist a little bit less, sometimes they can find this stretch in their inner thighs. So feel free to take your resistance down a notch and see what happens. As long as you're resisting enough, you can still get a good resistance stretch. But if you resist too hard, it can sometimes recruit other muscles. So, play around with that and see how that works for you. If it doesn't feel good, that's okay, just skip it. We can leave this one. Or you can check out some of those problem solving videos again. This one is called the groin stretch, so you could do the groin stretch problem solving. Up for strength and down for stretch. Let's do one more. Up for strength and down for stretch. All right. Now we're going to do a stretch for your lats. So find yourself in a seated position in any way that feels good to you. Bring your right arm up so that your elbow is pointing up towards the ceiling. You don't want to have too much strain here in the upper part of your arms. If you need to loosen up this bend, that's okay. If you want to put your hand over your head or, whatever feels good. But you want to be able to have a lever. You need a lever to hold on to. So find that lever, whether you're just holding like this or, even like this would be okay. You're going to resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. And then use your right arm to try to pull your body up while you use your left arm to pull towards your left knee. So you just pull forward and across, and then up for your strength and over for stretch. And you just go back and forth, up for strength and down for stretch. You should feel this on your left side. I'm sorry, this is the right. So you feel this on your right side here from your elbow down towards your hips. So you just go back and forth. Up for strength and down for stretch. You just go back and forth, up and down, about 10 times or as many as your body wants to do. And then I think today we'll do something different. Something I think you'll really like. Up for strength and down for stretch. Great. And now we're going to switch sides. So bring your left arm up, grab your elbow with your right hand. You're going to resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. And then push up for strength. Pull across into your right knee for your stretch. So my right arm is winning. My left arm is trying to keep me upright. And you should feel the stretch on the left side of your body from your armpit down towards your waist. So over for stretch, pushing back up for strength training. And you just go back and forth. I find that it helps in the stretch for me to get a deeper stretch if I don't try to contract my abs as I come over, but let your belly kind of hang loose. All the muscles that are engaged are on the outside here, and you want these muscles to be able to contract on their own. So don't get in their way by trying to pull your belly in or pull your belly button to your spine. This is where you can let go of all of those cues that you got from Pilates class, right? Let this be loose so that it can fold on its own. And then you'll get a deeper stretch through the outside of your left body, right here. So pull over for stretch and up for strength. And we'll just go back and forth. Up and down. Oh. Good job, guys. Okay, now I want to show you a stretch for your shoulders and your spine. It's a wall roll down. It sort of looks like a shoulder stand, but I want to make sure that you're never holding this position for very long because that can be really tough on your neck. The good thing about resistance stretching is that we're always moving all the time. Now I'm going to show you this stretch from a few different angles. So I'll start off with where the camera is, and I'm going to move the camera so that you can see it. If you already know the stretch, go ahead and do it. But one thing that's very important to know is that you never want to turn your head in this stretch. So watch me first, get a good handle for it. If you're watching this on your phone, make sure that you hold your, you can't even really, I guess you could. You could hold your phone over your face so you can see it, but don't watch it and do this stretch because you don't want to put any torque on your spine, especially as we're doing this roll down, okay? So get a good hold on it, do the stretch. If this doesn't feel good to you, then don't do it at all. It's not even worth it because you don't want to put any extra strain on your spine than what feels good to you at any given time. Got it? You're in charge. We don't want any pain. So what you're going to do is sit close to the wall, bring your feet up against the wall, and then take your hands and reach towards the wall. And use should be far enough away from the wall that your fingers don't touch, but they almost do. Like I think the wall's about this far away from my fingertips. Then from here, push with your feet, and that's going to bring your body up. Keep your face looking forward at all times while you come down. You're going to push with your legs. Your body's trying to stay up, so it slows you down, and you can feel each vertebrae hit the ground one by one. If you're on hardwood floors, you probably want to make sure that your mat is on your back so that you're not just like on the hard floor. That probably wouldn't feel very good. Also, you don't really want to slide. Like, I'm pushing with my feet pretty hard. So if I was on a regular floor, like a slippery floor, my whole body would fly that way towards you guys. So up for strength and down for stretch. Now, if you're not quite understanding this stretch, let me put the camera in a different angle so that you can see it. For those of you who don't like to watch the camera move, close your eyes or don't watch. And let's see if I can get this from here. I think hopefully you'll be able. I'll try to get pretty far away. Okay, so I'm going to come in close to the wall. I put my feet up on the wall, and I'm going to reach my hands towards the wall. I'm going to push up for strength, and then use my legs to push me down, and my upper body, like my torso, everything is trying to stay up. And you just go back and forth. This usually feels really good. And you only have to go up as high as your body wants to go. So if like you're in this place, that's okay too. It feels like a massage for your spine. It's kind of glorious, I have to say. All right, friends. I think that's enough for today. I'm ending a little bit early, but I have to admit I'm just a little low. I'm super sad about my cat. I'm a little low energy, and I just feel like that was a great, very gentle class for us. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the chat. Reach out and say hi. I would love to hear from you. And I'll be in live class tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Remember, 11 a.m. classes Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. 9 a.m. is Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Life renovations 5 days a week. All right, guys. Oh, also one more thing. I haven't told many people about this, but I think what I'm going to do on Saturday night, just for kicks, is to do a Life Renovations tarot card reading. I'm not a very good tarot card reader, but I'm okay. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do that. So Saturday night, keep an eye out on my channel. I haven't decided exactly what time, but it'll probably be about 7 o'clock, like dinner-ish time. And we'll do tea and tarot, or you can drink wine if you want to. It's totally up to you. All right, I hope to see you guys soon. Have a good day. Bye-bye.